What's up guys? So today we're going to be looking at the brand new Infinix S5 versus the Tecno Phantom 9. The Infinix S5 is the latest model from the Infinix S series, while the Tecno Phantom 9 is the latest model from the Tecno Phantom series. The Phantom 9 was also released in 2019. It was a good phone, however, I felt it was not an upgrade, it was a downgrade because they actually had to take off some useful features that were in the previous model, like the USB-C for instance, and put back a regular USB on it, which didn't go down well with me and a couple of other people. But at the end of the day, the phone was still okay for the price you were paying for it. The Infinix S5, on the other hand, is the latest model from the Infinix S series. The Infinix S4 was actually one of my favorite devices of 2019 because it packed some useful features and the price you were paying for it for what it offered was actually okay with me. So one will expect that the Infinix S5 will be a major upgrade from the Infinix S4. It's not really a major upgrade, it's just a very minor upgrade because it still has the same sizes of RAM, internal storage, still runs on the same processor, and a lot of stuff. The same screen that was used on the S4 is what is still used on the S5. But overall, I've used the device for a couple of days and my experience with it is not really bad. But in this video, let's see how the two devices will hold up against each other. My name is Kingsley. If you're new here, I'm a certified IT technician. I love creating tech content just like this one. So please don't forget to hit that subscribe button, alright? And for those of you that are returning subscribers, thank you so much. You're the reason why I'm still doing this. So these two devices look very similar when it comes to the design. They have the same kind of design language, Everything is placed at the same point on both devices. The power buttons, the volume buttons, the SIM card trays, the speakers, the microphone, the charging port, everything is placed at the same point. So that's one thing we've seen on all the Tecno and Infinix devices of 2019, like the Tecno Camon 12, the Tecno Phantom 9, the Infinix S5, the Infinix S4, and the Tecno Spark 4. On the spec sheet, the Tecno Phantom 9 comes with 6GB of RAM and a 128GB inbuilt memory, while the Infinix S5 gives you more options to choose from. Like you can get a 128GB version that has 6GB of RAM, you can get a 4GB version that has 64GB of internal memory, and then you can also get the S5 Lite, which is cheaper than the regular S5. But the good thing here is that the 128GB version of the S5 that has 6GB of RAM is not even as expensive as the Tecno Phantom 9 that has 6GB of RAM and 128GB inbuilt memory. The Tecno Phantom 9 retails for about $210 to $230, while the Infinix S5 on the other hand starts for about $175 for the 128GB version, and the price comes below that for the 64GB version and the Lite version. As for the display, the Tecno Phantom 9 has an AMOLED display which is 6.3 inches in size, while the Infinix S5 has an LCD display which is 6.6 inches in size. So which means the Infinix S5 has a larger display than the Tecno Phantom 9. But when it comes to the color and the vibrancy of the display, the Tecno Phantom 9 actually has a better display because it's an AMOLED display. And also you can watch HD videos on the Tecno Phantom 9 because it runs at 1080p, but on the Infinix S5 you're running at 720p, so you will not be able to watch HD videos. One of the obvious differences between these two displays is the fact that the Infinix S5 has a hole punch display, which is actually my favorite. I actually prefer the hole punch display to the notch. Both displays are very responsive. When I mean responsive, super responsive. But you're actually going to be experiencing the usual drawbacks, slowness in sliding, in tapping things, in responsiveness. This is because the iOS and the XOS that runs on both the Phantom 9 and the Infinix S5 are filled with junks. The Infinix and Tecno phones of 2019 have actually received my award for the phones with the highest amount of bloatwares ever. When it comes to the gaming performance, the Infinix S5 is very poor at gaming. I mentioned that in my last video. But the Phantom 9 is actually a little bit better at gaming. I actually recorded clips where I was playing games with both of them, but the SD card got corrupted, so I couldn't put those clips here. But if it comes to gaming, the Phantom 9 is boss. Why? Because that Hello P35 that runs on the Phantom 9 is better than the P22 that runs on the S5. So that explains why the S5 is not really good at gaming, while the Phantom 9 is better at gaming. Even though the Phantom 9 is better at gaming than the S5, it doesn't mean it's the best phone out there to use and play games, like PUBG for instance. Why? Because it actually heats up too after a while, but it takes a longer time to heat up than the S5 does. But whether you're using the phone for gaming or you're using the phone for everyday life activity, the Infinix S5 surely has a better battery. It lasts far longer than the Phantom 9. Why? Because the Infinix S5 has a 4000 mAh battery, while the Tecno Phantom 9 has a 3500 mAh battery, which is quite significant. For the cameras, both phones are equipped with very high cameras. The Tecno Phantom 9 has a 16 megapixel main lens, it has an 8 megapixel ultra wide angle lens, and then a 2 megapixel depth of field lens, while the front selfie camera is a 32 megapixel selfie camera. The Infinix S5 on the other hand also has a 16 megapixel front facing camera, it has a 5 megapixel ultra wide angle lens, and it has a 2 megapixel depth sensor, and it also has a 2 megapixel macro lens. And the front selfie camera is also 32 megapixel just like the Phantom 9. So the only thing that the Infinix S5 has that the Tecno Phantom 9 does not have is that 2 megapixel depth sensor, which is not a big deal. Most people will almost never use it. So me and Wisdom took both phones out and we took a lot of pictures with them. But what I noticed is that the Tecno Phantom 9 captures more details than the Infinix S5, you know. Like the Infinix S5 captures images with overblown highlights. No matter how you try to focus the cameras just won't focus. It will take images that are overexposed, you know, the colors will tend to go missing somehow, you know, but the Phantom 9 actually tries to retain that. So I will just allow you guys go through samples of pictures that were taken with both of these devices. At the end of the day, let me know which one do you prefer. Do you prefer the images from the Phantom 9 or do you prefer the images from the Infinix S5, all right? So let me know down in the comments, which of these devices will you actually go for if you were going to buy one? Will you go for the Phantom 9 or will you go for the Infinix S5? Thank you so much guys for watching. Come hang out with me on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram, alright? I will catch you again in the next one.